This episode of The Apartment Guys is being brought to you by Greenlight Equity Group. Greenlight Equity Group acquires and operates cash-flowing multifamily assets in progressive metropolitan markets such as Salt Lake City, Idaho, San Antonio, Oklahoma City, and Columbus, Ohio. Greenlight targets consistent, solid returns for its investors and a healthy environment for residents by operating high-quality, safe, clean, affordable apartment communities. To learn more about Greenlight and to sign up for the investor list, go to www.glequitygroup.com.
Welcome to The Apartment Guys, where we dive deep into all things multifamily investing. Our mission is to educate, inspire, and empower real estate investors to reach their highest potential. Each week, host Tate interviews high-level guests from all over the industry who are sure to bring valuable, actionable ideas that will propel your career to the next level. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned investor, you are in the right place. And now your host, the apartment guy, Tate Seamer.
Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of the Apartment Guys podcast. Today, we have a special guest. Prashant Kumar is in the house, as we like to say. Prashant is an enthusiastic, passionate, and goal-oriented multifamily operator. He applies 25 plus years of experience in corporate America to analyzing income and expenses, calculating NOI, and calculating purchase price based on NOI and cap rate, which we talk about that equation a lot on the podcast. So that should be familiar to a lot of people. He acquires and holds stable income producing multifamily apartment complexes in emerging U.S. markets with long-term capital appreciation. He runs a meetup group in New York and runs online masterminds with many different groups. He does joint ventures and also syndication deals. He's a general partner in 1,200 units, which is awesome. He's got 100 units of his own in his own personal portfolio. That was the stable income producing multifamily apartments that we mentioned earlier. Along with multifamily, he has a passion to purchase assisted living projects. He lives in Long Island, New York with his wife, daughter, and son. Due to his technology and management background, he brings value by handling of resources and tasks. He's astute and detailed oriented, eliminates redundancies from the processes, and he owns single family rentals as well as multifamily and runs them very efficiently. So, Prashant, really excited to have you today. Thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you having me on your show. I appreciate it very much.
No, it's my pleasure. Absolutely. So before we get into Prashant, the entrepreneur and multifamily magnate and CEO of your own company called My Realty Gains, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. let's talk a little bit about Prashant, the person, kind of, where you're from, what was important to you as a child growing up, important events or influences that you've had along the way, and kind of how you got to where you are today.
Very good. Tate. Thank you so much for a nice introduction. I forgot to say that. A very humble introduction. Thank you for that. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. And to begin with, I would say a little bit about my background. I come from a very humble background. Okay, I come from India. Of course, you can feel that. I came here in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
Although I've been a smart student, so to say. I mean, not that I'm smart. It's just that I happened to go to a school which was one of the top institutes of the country. So humbly, that's a that's an achievement to get into those institutes in India to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1998, I came here. I did technology work, computer science, management related jobs all over the country with life sciences industry, managing people within states, outside states, overseas. I have I have vast management background, so to say. I do technology work, consulting work with, you name it, Pfizer's, Bayer, Abbott, life sciences industry, basically. So
Uh-huh.
that is my past life. But
Okay.
in addition to that, during that lifespan, I picked up certain attributes like certain skills of meditation.
Mm.
I learned meditating on my own, and for last 15 years, I have been helping folks to gain peace via meditation.
Wow.
And that's my passion. I do that free of charge for anybody and everybody, anytime of the day.
Wow.
So that is my passion, and that is my biggest why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? The sooner I get financial freedom, I would like to spend more time doing what I want to do in
Mm-hmm.
my life. So multifamily and the real estate was the vehicle which made me to get to that level. I'm not there yet. Would I be there? I'm pretty sure I would be there soon. And I have acquired single families with the help of a mentor few years ago, and then I acquired multifamily within the same year. And then I realized that money is not enough. And then I said, okay, let me start helping others out. Uh, there are a lot of people out there in this world, and including me. Before that, I didn't know what a passive investing was.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that there are a lot of people who don't know how can they make money by investing in real estate.
Right.
So I started doing syndication, one deal after another deal. I became part of a group, and helped them out, and they were gracious enough. I was a GP, LP, KP, a DP, whatever you want to call it. I had all the hats, so to say, in the deals one after another. And and then that is going on, and alongside I discovered that there are elder people in the world who need help always. My parents are becoming growing in the age. Nobody
Yeah.
stops aging. We all
Right.
age. So I had a passion to help, basically. That's my sort of a route. So in all terms, starting from a very deepest one, which is meditation, impart peace, help others to gain peace. That's number one. Then coming to the old age, how can I help elderly people? Of course, those are businesses. Those are not free, so to say, because there's a cost involved there. And then multifamily, they are helping all the investors, all the people who have money, gain financial freedom. That's really the
Mm-hmm.
motto of all of life, is to help others in whichever capacity possible. I do give highest priority to meditation, and then assisted living, and then of course the business, which is multifamily, where I help educate uh, all and all and everybody, about what are the fundamental benefits of real estate. I mean, it can be single family, it can be multifamily, but I
Mm-hmm.
I, I kind of communicate it to nth degree tell others what are the fundamental benefits. The money that you are sitting in your bank account is actually depreciating, and how can that
Right.
money work for you while you own real estate?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of impart that knowledge like everybody else, like you are doing,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's my background. Over the last couple of years, that's what I have done, and I love what I do.
Well, it shows. I can tell. It shows in your success in your track record, but also shows in just the way that you talk about it and your voice. And I can tell that you have a passion for it, like I do. I think that's easy to recognize in another person when you have it in yourself. And I think that you seem to do what you do with a lot of joy and a lot of energy and vigor. And that's got to be a secret sauce for a lot of your success and a big component of it, I would think.
Yeah, to my mind is, I mean, as I said, I'm blessed to have probably a persistent mind. I do not stop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always persistent. I never say no to any opportunity. When the
Wow.
deals come to me, I don't say no to them directly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, there are the 100 deals that come to us in the mailbox, not like
Right.
that. But if
Right.
somebody approaches me for a deal, I don't say no to them right away.
Sure.
I mean, I take my time and I keep on looking at it. Keep on asking the questions and questions and questions, and ultimately I find something out of the deal. So that is my level, my way of doing it. I don't say no, and I do get involved into projects after projects like that. And I mean, invariably, I do get involved in 99.9% projects which come to me,
Mm-hmm.
because you always find some opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing which I think maybe I'm blessed with, or maybe it is my personality, where I like to be part, and I never leave an opportunity where I need to help somebody
Mm-hmm.
selflessly. I mean, without anything that I without it. And when I do it selflessly, it comes back to me anyway.
Absolutely.
People look at us at a different level,
Mm-hmm.
considering as the subject matter expert, so to say. And that's how it has worked with for me for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think that value contribution is kind of the new currency and in the business world today. And you obviously do a great job and have a strong priority and a strong mandate in your life to add value to others in very meaningful ways. And you're speaking my language with when it comes to meditation. I've been a practitioner of what I call mindfulness meditation, what a lot of people
Wow.
call mindfulness meditation for probably 10 years on and off, and have really dug back into that practice here just in the last couple of months. I'm on I think probably day 60 something in a row of sitting meditation every morning.
Wow.
And to me, it's just, I mean, I feel like we could do a whole episode on this subject, and it would be incredibly valuable to everybody listening,
I
even though it
would,
wouldn't be
yeah.
about apartments. But it's such a game changing practice, and no matter what your religious background is or beliefs are, currently, it's something that's compatible in my view. Sitting meditation is compatible with lots and lots of different worldviews, and it's a very simple practice that really just involves connecting with your breath, connecting with the present moment, connecting with you as the observer of your thoughts, and not your thoughts, not being identified with your thoughts, so to speak. And I think that for me personally, I can speak to having some skill sets around this stuff has at the very least has made some really rough patches over the last few years a lot smoother, having some mindset chops, so to speak, with through meditation in particular. So, yeah,
well, hats off to you. I mean, I did not know that I was going to talk to somebody who's practicing meditation.
yeah,
I would definitely love to talk to you more. I mean, I know a lot about mindfulness.
yeah.
I'm part practitioner of heartfulness for last 30 years,
Mm,
and I'm a prefect and a trainer in that organization. I would love to talk to you more about meditation, and hopefully we can exchange some more thoughts
yeah,
in a different show. If you
sure,
want. Yeah.
sure. What's the name of the organization?
Heartfulness.
Heartfulness.
Yes, heartfulness.org.
Okay.
Heartfulness, heartfulness.org.
Heartfulness.org. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
We'll look into that one for sure. Well,
Sure, sure.
before we dig into what my realty group does and kind of what you do, I just want to get a little more of a context for your path in the multifamily world. You was there a moment along the way that you remember where the light bulb went off, so to speak, or the gates open wide and you just saw the light as far as the multifamily space goes? Do you remember that?
I know it very clearly. I was buying these single family homes in my first year of my real estate venture. Uh, when I jumped into the real estate, I was buying single family homes one after another. And this home, worth 100,000, 130,000, I would probably cut the check with my eyes closed. And these lenders were taking so much time. So these homes were single family homes were taking so much time.
Mm-hmm.
The land, I would probably cut the check, as I said, but for obvious reasons, we want the banks to finance them. And they were taking like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, listen, it's not going to work. I mean, it's going to take me maybe 5 years to buy 50 homes or 40 homes. I mean, I wouldn't get the financial freedom, and the cash flow from them is like $200-300.
Right.
I said, I have to jump into multifamily. And I mean, I stopped. I bought 3 homes in like 6-9 months, and I stopped. I said, I'm not going to look at them. I jumped into multifamily. I said, I'm going to buy 20 to 40 unit multifamily. I found something, 24 units.
Mm,
Trust me, I closed that deal in 18 days.
nice. Wow.
And it took me 15 minutes to write my PFS and SREO. And I sent it to the bank with my signature. That's it. I was like, it was like whole entire world.
That had to have been a local bank, right?
It was a local bank
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that property, and we had
Wow.
existing relationship with them.
Sure.
And they closed the deal like that, and I was like, man, this is the best thing that could happen to me. In
Mm-hmm.
20 days, I am able to create, an income of like $2,000, $2,500 per month. What else do I want?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and of course, you cannot continue to buy yourself. Although I did buy a 72 unit for myself in Indianapolis after a year. Um, but, I said, money is not enough. Then my second bulb went. I had a second revelation that money is not enough. So I had to jump into syndication.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I started syndication. I became part of a group, and I said, listen, I'm just going to work for you guys for free. I do not want anything from you, but I have my connections. I have my net worth. I will invest money. I will bring investors. Whatever you need, I'll do everything. And trust me, I worked almost like 5-6 hours a day for them. And I did not want anything, but in the end, of course, I was a GP in that deal because I raised money, and I was talking to the lenders and brokers and property managers, and you name it. So I was actually sort of an equal partner in the deal because I did so much work on the deal. Um,
Yeah. Wow.
so by giving my time for free without any expectation, I got so much back. That's
Mm-hmm.
I attribute that to. I mean, I do not know whether anybody can teach me what I learned by working for free for somebody else. There's
Man.
nobody in the world who can teach me. I can write a book. It was the toughest deal, 50% occupied. I mean, 60% occupied, 50% economic occupancy, 35% down units. We were retraded by lenders 3 times. We were retraded by property managers insurance companies, you name it. Nobody wanted to touch the deal.
Hmm.
So we ended up spending 5 months, 3 months of contracts and two extension or three extensions. So 5 months worth of work from soups to nuts.
Wow.
And that's my journey basically overall.
Well, that is just like a golden nugget right there that we've hit on a half dozen different episodes, at least on this show in the last year, about one of, if not the fastest way to get into this space, one of the fastest ways to get into this space is to figure out what you can do that's of value to somebody's team, a syndicator's team, ideally, and go and work for them on a particular project for free if you have to, and do it with, gratitude in your heart and a learning attitude and everything else. And it'll be worth, like you said, Prashant, it'll be that's the equivalent of a PhD that you got for free, really, if you want to look at it that way. The level of education that you got, not just in terms of base knowledge and specialized knowledge, but also resources and utilization of networks and I would think just so many little ins and outs, attorneys and PPMs and SEC regulations and property managers. And I mean, you got such a bird's eye view of the entire deal, the scope of the whole business in a really compressed period of time. And would you say it kind of launched you?
Oh, that was my launch. That was my first deal. So it launched me. It launched me, and I had deals after deals after that.
That's awesome.
I'll get to the point, get to it later, but that deal did not work out. But because of that, I had deals after deals every quarter. And because I gained so much experience and so many contacts in the industry, people knew me, and they will just come to me. Prashant, this is the deal, this is the deal, this is the deal, and you name it. I mean, that was the launching. I mean, so that's the gratitude. I mean, in my heart, truly, that's what you said. Basically, is I did that, and to me, that is the best thing I did, even though it was not so pleasant. I lost bunch of fare because I had huge amount of money hard. $200,000-$300,000 hard in that deal, but I got all that back. I didn't lose anything. It just worked out very well. I mean, knock on the wood, and I have great relationships, built in that process.
Yeah, and to listeners, Prashant took it to the next level and invested it financially as well in that deal, in addition to his time and energy and other resources. So that's, of course, another great way to be in on a deal is to be either a part of the limited partnership that's just bringing cash to the deal, or be part of the general partnership and be bringing cash to the deal from the GP side. Either and both are possible. But just to clarify for listeners, I don't feel like you have to have a whole bunch of money to put into a deal and then go work for a syndicator for free and invest in that deal. Just for the experience. I think you can do that without the money component. You may not get quite as good a look into the deal as you would if you were otherwise fully invested, but I still think that the concept is there. I think there's plenty to be learned.
I agree. I agree 100%. I totally agree. And I have a bunch of people who are working on my deals along with me, and I never have any commitment from them. I don't ask for any money from them, and my goal is to teach them in their journey, and at the same time get some help also from them. I mean, if they continue to work with me, and they will get some part of the pie for sure. That's what I had done. That's how I'm. That's how I got it, and that's how I'm giving it away to those who are new to the industry and want to do what I did. So I totally agree. I mean, money is not the criteria, but if you have money, it worked out better for me, that time.
Yeah. And there's the whole conversation too about being a passive investor in syndications and all the benefits of that, and the ease and convenience of being a limited partner, where you're essentially you're only bringing capital to the deal and nothing else. And yet you own a significant chunk of the deal when you do that. Usually that's the case anyway. And it's can be incredibly beneficial from a passive cash flow standpoint, from an equity building standpoint, from a tax benefit, depreciation, cost segregation standpoint. Lots of concepts there, but there's just lots of great reasons to consider being a passive investor in apartments in particular. People call it the holy grail of asset classes, or maybe I named it that, but I like to think of it as that because it really is. It's such a unique unicorn of an asset class with so many different angles of benefit. And one of them being risk mitigation. I'll mention that since we're kind of in a iffy time economically, amongst other things. But apartments are in the grand scheme of things with the rest of commercial asset classes, apartments are very, very low in the volatility area. They're much less volatile than unfortunately assisted living projects or retail or commercial or industrial, and the stock market certainly much less volatile than the stock market. So we won't make this a why multifamily or episode, but I think, Prashant, do you want to speak to passive investing and the benefits of that?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Potato, on that. So I want to take a step back, okay? As I think I was naive when I started investing into single families. At that time, real estate investing really meant like owning some real estate for myself, owning a single family for myself, having the pride that I own 2 homes or 3 homes or 5 homes. That's what real estate investing really meant to me. And I think that's what it means to a lot of people, that what is real estate investing is buy an asset, buy a single family home in your name. You become the owner of it. I want to clarify that point to our listeners that when you become part of a syndication group where you invest your money, so you are actually becoming the part owner of a bigger property. So the satisfaction, the pride of owning real estate is there. You are not managing that asset because you are not perfect. I was not perfect. I still am not perfect in single families. But when it comes to multifamily, when I invest my money with somebody else, the way I look at it, I own 10% of this 100 units. My 10 units or the whole 100 units are being managed by top professionals.
Yeah.
For them, that is livelihood. Top professionals, and the success of the project is being measured by lenders, because lenders have the bigger stake in the deal, with the property managers, with SEC attorneys, and all the professional staff who's managing that asset. So my inability of managing my single family, those inabilities are overcome. The assets are being managed by real professional people who are vested in the success of the project.
Right.
So and because of that, the returns that I am getting are much more than what I get if I have to buy a single family myself and manage it myself. I want to be very, very clear. I am owning the asset. Asset is being managed by professionals, and I'm getting better results, better cash flow, and better appreciation over time because asset was distressed, and we increase the value of the asset, and it has higher valuation when we get out. So the returns that we get in multifamily are, on the very low end, I would think at least 12 to 15 annualized cash on cash. That
Right.
is on the very low end side. I mean, like, and on single families, the return I have seen is maybe 7, 8, 9, 10% at most.
Mm-hmm.
So what is good for me is me working on my single family or let somebody else work on a multi-family, and
Mm-hmm.
I get more results, better results out of it.
Right.
And on top of that, I get tax advantage because of cost segregation and the
Right.
bonus depreciation.
Yeah.
So to me, in my mind, if I have the money, I never put it in single family anymore. I just invest with others or put it in my own deals. Basically, I'm
Mm-hmm.
an investor too, so I invest my IRA money into others' deals all the time. And the
Mm-hmm.
best thing is to get that mailbox check. That's what they call
Yep.
mailbox check every month or every quarter.
Yep.
And an IRA is a different story. But if I put my regular money and I get huge tax benefits. I write off a bunch of it. I'm not a CPA. I have to tell that this is not a legal advice, but I am able to write off all the earnings. I mean, 100% of the time I'm able to write off the earnings for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But on top of it, I'm able to write off even my principal that I put in the deal.
Right.
So those are the fundamental advantages, and which cannot be written in a OM of a deal for legal purposes. Besides getting all the benefits of 12 to 15% return, you get the huge benefit on the tax saving side.
Yeah.
And to me, I mean, that's my passion now, and I think it's your passion also, Tate, that we are educating our listeners to understand the benefit of this passive investing. And for that purpose, I mean, I have my website myrealtygains.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you leave your email address there, you automatically get subscribed to a 7-day email course, which walks you through 7 emails, simple stuff, 5 minutes video. I like to talk on video rather than writing it up. So you get 5 videos, one a day, 7 videos, one each for the next 7 days, and that kind of brings you up to the speed of what are the real benefits. And after that, you want to talk to me, schedule a call, whatever, become part of our group. You are welcome to, and don't want to become, that's fine. We are willing to help. I mean, whatever you need, we are there to educate you, basically to bring you up to the speed of the benefits of passive investing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thought around that. I'm fascinated, the kind of benefits we have in passive investing. Yes, we work as a sponsor because we work, that's our full-time job. But you as a lawyer or a doctor or an IT professional who has the money sitting in your bank account, or maybe, and you are devaluing your money, because it is depreciating with the inflation. If you, instead of putting that money, if you invest somewhere, and somewhere means a real asset, it's not a paper asset like stock,
Right.
where there are no tax advantages. You make $50, you have to pay tax on $50. Real estate is not like that. I mean, a bunch of people, and there are people in the world who makes billions and still don't pay taxes on
Right.
real estate, and it's all legal. The
Right.
good thing, it's all legal. I mean, whom I'm talking about.
Yes. Right.
So it's all legal because somebody has invested money correctly, and a lot of people do that, basically. So I'm totally fascinated by this idea that tax code gives us so much opportunity to invest. Tax code really tells us where to invest,
Yeah.
and real estate is the asset class to invest because that's where you get the maximum tax benefits.
Yeah. It's really an unbelievable picture when you look at it from a bird's eye view, the tax benefits that real estate provides. The IRS, the government, has decided to heavily incentivize real estate investing and development and ownership and improvement and everything else. So there's a lot of good reasons to do that. And the government's made that determination, like you said, in the tax code. And hence really instructs us where the best places to invest are. And with bonus depreciation, which we covered, I believe, 2 episodes with Yona Weiss on the podcast. Excellent episode. I recommend listening to. Bonus depreciation is just a game changer. Like you said, you can have millions and millions of income that comes in that you're not paying taxes on, essentially, because of depreciation of assets and the tax credits that provides, or the tax write-offs that provides, rather. So it's really remarkable, and it's a story that we try to tell a little bit, a chapter a day or a chapter a podcast episode, why this is so exciting and why it's why we kind of smile the whole time we're talking about it, and why we're so energized by it, and why we want to share it with so many people. It's just such a game-changing thing. So, well, Prashant, a few things just to kind of start to round things out for us here. Mindset. You spoke real early in the episode, and the word that I kept thinking of is mission. Like you just seem to have a sense of mission about how you live your life and what you do. You're very in touch with what your priorities are in terms of starting with meditation and then assisted living and education and those pieces in there. I wonder if you can speak to, what techniques, practices do you have or are important to you that have helped you along the way to maybe stay on that path? You use the word peace, you use the word freedom. What keeps you in that zone, so to speak?
Yeah, so I do a lot of things, and those who understand, for them I'm telling this, although not everybody understand what meditation can do for you, right? To
Mm-hmm.
me, the time spent on meditation is not wasted.
Mm-hmm.
It actually creates time for me. I mean, the time that you spend on meditation, it actually creates time for you because your mind is so much open now. You
Yeah.
can really focus on what you really want to do. So the 2 things that I have, one is meditation, and second is I have accountability manager who keeps me on the toe. Sometimes I end up forgetting what I have to do. I talk to him every day, and he kind of asks me the question. So I'm looking at my goals every day, strategizing what I really want to do. I had 2020 goals. We have goals every year. I kind of take my yearly goal, and then kind of divide it into 4 quarterly goals, and then that quarterly goal divide into monthly goal, to weekly goal, to a daily goal. I'm very methodical in that sense. So that helps me quite a bit. I mean, so far for 2021, I have just decided that these are my goals. For obvious reason, 2020, we couldn't achieve a lot of it, which is okay. Um, so that accountability is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation and accountability, these are the 2 things.
So is that
And
would you call that person a coach? What did you call him? An accountability partner? Or?
I just call him accountability partner.
Okay.
Um, you know, and he asked me questions and stuff, here and there.
Mm-hmm.
I have not had a coach yet. However, I tried reading few books here and there. I felt that they were more of sales pitches in some ways, but I'm open to joining any business coaching or whatever is needed.
Yeah.
I'm always looking there to look for things where I can read some things. I mean, not read, learn something. So be open to that. That's the important part. Be open to what you can learn from the world. And one of the best ways is when you teach, you always learn. It kind of enforces it to your head. When I'm saying something here, it is enforcing the same thing back to me.
Absolutely.
Right. So
Absolutely.
those things are very important to me. My goals and my meditation. And as I said, that helps me to keep driving to do what I really want to do. So if I don't meditate and if I don't do the accountability for a week, I would be, in my mind, I would not be able to even do anything. To me, that's where I get the energy from. You know, okay, these are the things that I need to do. Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it.
I
So
love it.
that's how it is. And I try to associate yourself with the positive people because negativity sucks the energy out of you.
It does.
So those, I mean, that is the important part. I mean, this is the coaching thing. Maybe I'm telling uh, in general that surround yourself with the right mindset. People have the attitude of humility, where you are a receiver. You may give whatever you have to the world for free, but be the receiver also.
Yep.
So I'm always the receiver. I'm getting some, I'm always the receiver of knowledge. Uh, and that helps me to do what I'm doing.
Yeah, and that humility that you speak of is first of all, it's evident. It comes across, and I think once again, it's kind of it's like a currency right now, that like humility, kindness, authenticity, adding value, authentically helping people, offering a hand up any way that you can, bringing people along with you as much as you can. I certainly try to do that as much as I can in my world as well. And like you say, one of the byproducts is it does come back to you. It does pay off in droves, usually. And that's great. And I think also if you can just give from a place of like almost habit, like this is just how I roll kind of thing. I'm just a generous guy, and I want to help and I want to contribute. You can't lose ultimately, I don't think. So I think you seem to be a really great example of that, Prashant.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah.
you bet. So I have one last question for you, but I want to mention one more time the 7-day email course that Prashant offers at myrealtygains.com, GAINS, myrealtygains.com. So check that out. I'm going to sign up for that myself. And Prashant, my last question is, what's the future look like for you?
See, the future is obviously 2020 was not the best for a lot of people, and I'm just humbled that my net worth did not go down. My health is good enough. Those whom I know, they are good enough. Although that's not sufficient in terms of what has happened in the world. I'm not so much worried that business did not go up as much as we wanted to go up. So for 2021, we have plans to acquire more assisted living facilities in California or in Arizona, in Colorado, in Texas, whatever. And then we are looking at multifamily, of course, and uh, there are other asset classes that we are exploring also. Um, Storage asset classes, storage or mobile home parks. I mean, I'm more inclined towards storages. So there are a few things that we are looking into. Would everything work out? I doubt that everything will work out in 2021. But as we have established our presence in market, we have a bunch of passive investors. We may end up launching, a fund or something for passive investors, friends, family members. A bunch of people have expressed interest. So those are a few things that we may end up doing in 2021. But again, we come from a very humble background where we want to make sure that investors' interest is paramount. We are sort of guardian of their money. I mean, I
Yeah.
would treat their money better than my money.
Yeah.
Not even a single penny wasted in any way.
Right.
So that's the real fundamental mindset that we come from. And so far, those who have been investing with us, they have been our repeat investors. People really call. I mean, we have reached to that point, and I don't need to brag about myself, but people say, Prashant, do you have a deal? I say, yes. Okay, I'm cutting you the check without even knowing what what the deal is, or people just call. I mean, sometimes I call them, I have a deal, and he says, okay, let me send you the check,
Wow.
without even knowing what the deal is, because they have seen how we operate. We are always there. My number. I personally respond to all the phone calls and emails, and uh, to kind of satisfy, to build that relationship with the investors. So, I mean, for that matter, maybe we may end up maybe creating a fund where it is easier for them to invest.
Hmm.
And we are continuing to invest into deals in multifamilies, or maybe in storage asset class, or, maybe in assisted living. I
Hmm.
mean, we already have few assisted livings in contract, few multifamilies in contract, and we continue to see this year that this will be a better year for all of us.
That sounds great. Good job. What's 5 years outlook like for you? Are you still coaching and teaching and whatnot?
Yeah, 5-year outlook. Yes, I mean, I think that is something which I have not thought about. I'm just 1 year, 1 year into my
Yep.
planning. But now that you have asked me the question, I would say maybe a couple of thousand doors
Okay.
under our belt,
Hmm.
and just doing what everybody else is doing. I mean, and to me, I would like to maybe take a break for myself in 5 years, where I'm spending more time with what I really, really want to do, and let somebody else handle
Hmm.
the business part, and doing, working maybe 20, 30 hours, 20 hours a week, and spending 20 hours or 40 hours for doing what I mentioned in originally, what I really want to do in my life:
Hmm. Oh,
meditation and helping others to meditate.
that's so beautiful. So, I mean, so many takeaways here from this episode. Really, really value packed. I think for me, like this concept of mission, the power of being connected to a sense of mission, whatever that looks like for you. Prashant is a great example of someone who is clearly informed and driven by his mission and his commitments on the planet. I think that's really inspiring and powerful. We had a really good talk about passive investing, a quick one, but I think we hit on some really poignant, powerful concepts there as well. So, and then just the power of giving is just again, it's kind of like hard to put into words. Really, the magic behind giving. There's a great book called The Go Giver that I recommend to people a lot, and it's really about, as an entrepreneur, being a value add focused entrepreneur, and being a leader in your industry, being a thought leader. That's not really in the book, but that's kind of the spin that I've taken from it. But so the Go Giver is a great one to check out. But Prashant, this has been fantastic. Totally appreciate it. I look forward to watching you grow and seeing you pull off a lot more great deals, and hopefully we'll get to work together. You're in kind of that same Midwest area that we're interested in. We're doing work in Columbus, Ohio right now, and I know you're in Indy and you have interest in Cincy and Louisville and like that whole tri-state area, I guess was what they call it. So hopefully I may have something to pitch to you here in the next few days even. So
Sounds good. I would love to hear that, Tate. I really do.
okay.
And again, thank you so much. I'm humbled that you took your time to talk to me, and you understood. I mean, not a lot of people can understand what I'm talking. So I changed my pitch accordingly, right? I mean,
Mm,
you understood my concept, you understood what I'm really saying.
yeah.
I appreciate that very much.
My pleasure. It was I found I found you not only easy to understand, but a very just inspiring and valuable takeaways. And so very appreciative, Prashant. And to the listeners, I hope you got as much out of this as I did. We will see you on the next episode. Until then, go do great things and take massive action steps. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Prashant.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for listening to The Apartment Guys with Tate Seamer. Tate and friends are grateful to have you as a loyal listener. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe, rate, review, and share with friends on your Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, or any other podcast platform. Also, check out Tate's YouTube channel for videos of many of these episodes and more. Until next time, take massive action steps and rock on.